is written in ash.
What's good, guys? Welcome back to the Galvanic Shards 2.0. I made a video about Galvanic Shards not so long ago, and since then this build has seen some improvement. So mainly we improved our clear view, improved our single target damage and our survivability. I feel like now the build is in a place where I'm comfortable sharing it with everyone else who want to actually try it out. Currently the build is capable of doing all content in the game, including 200% Deli. This is a reasonably strong build for a relatively low investment, not including the mage world. As for the skills, the sorcery ward is being boosted by the cold mastery. Sorcery ward is our primary way of defense. We are running Eternal Rage. Eternal Rage is granting us maximum rage at all times. Rage grants us 1% more damage per rage. We have 48 rage currently, so that's 48% more damage. Wind Dancer is giving us evasion. Evasion gives us sorcery ward, so this plays into the hand of sorcery ward. For our single target, we have StormBlast Bolt. We wanna make sure that in our weapons at 1, we don't have any penetration whatsoever, because we are using Rakiatas. Now, if we were to have penetration, that would lower the resistance of the mob that we are trying to hit with Stormblast bolts. Now, that's not really helping us in this case, because if we decrease the mob's resistance from like 60 to 40, Rakiata will make it minus 40 instead of minus 60 if we were to have 0 penetration. And this includes the quality on the gem. So we want to have a 21-0 Stormblast bolt here, because the quality would give us penetration and we don't want that. Galvanic Shards is responsible for our clear. Now, Galvanic Shards is a super nice clearing skill once you have some investment. You need quite a lot of investment for this to actually work. The only expensive stuff that we have here is Rigwards. Now, Rigwards, we are using Galvanic Shards in weapon set 2, so this is granting us 30% more damage. Besides that, we are making our Galvanic Shards chain and fork with the support. Mirage Archer, we are using Mirage Archer to have a detonator skill. In this case, I have Explosive Shot. I'm playing around Explosive Shot and Explosive Grenade here. I haven't decided which one I like more. In the end, both of those skills are responsible for the same thing, and that is to actually explode our Stormblast bolts. What it would look like is that we stack our Stormblast bolts on the target and then we dodge roll. We have our Mirage Archer, which will use detonator skill, and that will automatically apply the actual detonation from our Stormblast bolt. There are two things here that we really want to look out for, and that is cooldown recovery and prolonged duration. The multi-shot and the magnified area only applies to the explosive shot, so it's a more comfortable, a more reliable way of proccing the Stormblast bolts. Besides that, we have Herald of Ash and Herald of Thunder. Herald of Ash is a really strong clearing skill, right? So this is helping our clear by quite a lot. We have magnified area and fire mastery here. Herald of Thunder is a 2-in-1 Herald skill for us, because we are getting the Herald of Thunder damage, but we are also getting armor explosions with the Herald of Thunder. So this is a super nice and comfortable way to triple boost our clear during mapping. So for Herald of Thunder we have Lightning Mastery, Elemental Ornament, Elemental Focus, Magnified Area and Armor Explosion. I will get back to the Armor Explosion later on. We have Emergency Reload with cooldown recovery and prolonged duration. We are running Trinity with Cold Mastery. And we have Gas Grenade with 4 random blue gems. This is only because we wanna be Chili Moon with crystallized immunities on our skill tree. Let's talk about the actual gear that you require for this. So for the crossbow, we are looking for a high elemental double damage prefix with increased elemental damage with attacks. Besides that, we wanna have plus skills. We preferably want to have onslaught. And for the third one, we can take reload speed. Besides that, for the rings, we have double damage to attacks, rarity and resist. And this applies to our Nada rings. For the amulet, and this is really important, this is something new that we can actually get. And this is granting us the Eternal Rage. Now, since we don't need to reserve this 100 spirit, we can run multiple auras because of this amulet. So with this amulet, we actually want to have level 17 Eternal Rage, and that is because we have 126 strength currently with 50 spirit. So this allows us to reserve even more auras. Besides that, we want to have plus levels to projectile and whatever that you can get your hands on. For the helm, we are running Alpha Hull with some extra rage. Here we have plus 100 to spirit, so this is again to have more auras in our build. For the chest piece, we are still running Iris. For the gloves, we have a Painter Servant, so this is what makes Trinity working, but you want to make sure that you only have as much gain as extra as you actually need to balance your damage. So in this case, I have only 5% gain as extra cold because the Iris is granting us 15. If I were to have like a 10% gain as extra cold in the Painter's Gloves, that would mean that I have way more cold damage and my Trinity wouldn't be balanced and I would lose damage. So you want to make sure that whenever you are checking your main skill, you want to have somewhere around the same damage with all of the elements that you are damaged with. So as you can clearly see, my cold is still higher. However, with this damage, my Trinity is balanced, so it's fine, right? I also have a mage belt here with Jade, Silver, Gold and Quicksilver. There is nothing to really talk about there. And we have a boots with Dexterity, double res and some evasion. For the Rite of Passage, we actually want to have the Spirit of the Wolf. So Spirit of the Wolf is actually granting us Armor Break. Now this Armor Break is responsible solely for our armor explosions. So whenever we enter a map, we don't have armor explosions straight away. We need to kill one single rare mob to have the Rite of Passage buff applied to us. And after that, we have the armor explosions going on. Spirit of the Wolf will make your Herald of Thunder be able to have armor explosion. And I think that's also just another layer, another comfortable layer of actually having good clear with this character. And now let's talk about the skill tree itself. So we are running Witchhunter with No Mercy and Ceremonial Ablution. So this is how our skill tree is currently looking. So let's go over the jewels. So first off, we have a From Nothing with Ancestral Bond. So this allows us, this From Nothing is like 35 exhaust, it's some ridiculously cheap stuff. However, our hits have 15% chance to treat enemy monster elemental resistances. We have Rakiatas as elemental resistance values are inverted, right? So this is 100%. This is Rakiatas from Temu basically. So with this, we have some extra damage when it comes to our Galvanic Shard. We are only using this to Galvanic Shard. Our StormBlast bots have Rakiata, so it doesn't matter, and we take the penetration. Since it's not 100% uptime, we are taking penetration with Galvanic Shards, so weapon set 2. If you check the skill tree, we are not taking any penetration with weapon set 1, so we are only taking increased damage here. We have a From Nothing with Ancestral Bond. We have a Heart of Well Diamond Jewel with extra cold, extra lightning, and we have mana regen here, and debuffs expire faster on us. And lastly, the last jewel that we are taking is Against the Darkness. What we have here is extra fire. These 4 notables are giving us damage as extra fire. This way we are covering all 3 of the elements. So we have cold, lightning and fire here from the Against the Darkness. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and drop a sub. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next one.